Denver Broncos, Mile High View, no commercials, no bullshit. I get a little sick and tired of, when my co-host, all he does is produce film all the time. And I get sick and tired of people coming on and telling him what the film shows. Nobody shows film like the great Coach Bucket Man. And and that's what I do too. We try to show film. And the Denver Broncos had a draft that was so predictable. I mean, it's just right. Everything you've seen the last 8 years. We were told that the edges were set. Then you have know-nothings that come from, I don't know if they come from the front office of the Denver Broncos, leaving comments that they don't have a pass rush. You don't think we know that? And how dare us not want another edge rusher? You do know that the Broncos haven't had an elite interior pass rusher since Malik Jackson and Derek Wolfe. You do realize that. And that's what makes your edge rushers even better. But again, we were told that the Broncos were all set at edge. So we knew that they would go out and get an undersized edge. They just can't help themselves, this kind of thing. So anyway, Bucket Man has addressed that in his film sessions. Maybe what I'm gonna do is leave the quarterback and that edge rusher link for you to look at. I have an affinity for these DBs. The whole DB has been neutered. It's been relegated to this what we always used to call even better yet prevent. Now the new thing with corners is teaching prevent. That's not what a corner is supposed to do, is prevent. You could say maybe the safety plays more of the prevent role, but your corners definitely should not be doing prevent in my book. I wish more players would come out and speak out about the neutering of the DB position. In the DB position, the corner position, you should have another wide receiver out there. His mentality is he is the other receiver. He's going to go up for the ball. But not in this day and age. It's back off, just give away first downs. I don't believe in giving away first downs. Take what the defense will give you. Well, you shouldn't be as a defense giving first downs away. So I'm going to do a film study on Kris Abrams Draine. My view is this guy's just a chip off the old prevent defense block. This guy plays, sometimes the safety role in this defense. And I think the Broncos' thinking is that he could be a safety if they need him, depending on how many safeties they want to keep on the roster, how many corners, they want to keep on the roster. It depends on how they want to go. Corners, do they want to keep so many? Safeties, do they want to keep so many? They could plug them into any one of those roles. I believe, watching the tape, he kind of flip-flops back and forth. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and take a look at this. I just want to say first and foremost, we never cherry pick. We go through series. So what you're going to see is defensive series featuring this guy. I'm not going to show plays that are away from his side of the field and all he's doing is nothing because he can't. There's nothing going on his side of the field. So anything on his side of the field that requires anything from him, that's where we're going to see series after series after series. Also, I just want to say right off the bat that this game is against Tennessee, and Tennessee's offense this particular year is woeful. It was hard watching this. This Tennessee offense couldn't get through a series without a bunch of penalties the entire game. So it's a good, we'll see how they do against a crap. I like both Tennessee and I like both Missouri programs. They're great. But right now, Tennessee's offense, it ain't definitely led by Peyton Manning, that's for sure. So right off the bat, we have our guy, Abrams Draine, getting challenged. I love where he is. He's exactly where he should be. He's got that half step in front of that receiver. Now, he does, unfortunately, do what so many of these, this is what separates marquee corners, or back in the day anyway, What separates marquee corners versus, just another guy out there? He's exactly where he should be, and he needs to maintain that position. He's about half a step ahead. He's running side by side. That's fine too. And he needs to maintain that the whole route. Don't let the guy get in what we call the driver's seat, and you'll see what I mean in a second. Like so many corners that are just guys, this DB allows him to get that separation just enough. He falls behind. Definitely used to be a cardinal sin. Never let them get behind. Stay side by side or half a step ahead. Definitely a cardinal sin. He breaks that. He gets behind. Our Abrams Draine, he spots the ball. Now he needs to, accelerate. He needs to make sure that he gets in front of that receiver because this receiver is much taller than him. I think he's about 6'4". But that doesn't matter. I mean, if you're in front of him, that quarterback, no quarterback can defy the laws of physics. It's going to drop. It's not going to be out of reach. So if it's behind, if the ball ends up behind the receiver, that receiver's job is to come down with it, and there's nothing you can do as a DB there. But most likely, and that's why you stay ahead of him, stay in front of him, is that you're going to get the interception. This should have been intercepted, quite frankly. He was in position. And he just allows that guy to get ahead of him and that's an easy catch. Unless you're a Tennessee Volunteer and they have to review this about 600 times before they realize that, yeah, he caught it. But this should have been an interception. He should have kept his position in front of the receiver. And we used to say you're going to let him never let him get in the driver's seat. So you should have stayed in front and you would have had an interception. Just stay in front. You look back, he has every right to be in front of the receiver. He doesn't have to go behind the receiver. Don't do that. Stay where you were. Keep that position. Or side by side. But stay in front of him. Whatever you do. I mean, that's the cardinal rule, or the golden rule, excuse me. The cardinal sin is dropping back and letting him just catch that ball. So do not like that. That should be coached into him. Under no circumstance do you let that receiver get ahead of you. And for the record, I played corner, and I would never, ever, if I could do it, make sure that receiver doesn't get in the driver's seat. That is just a no. No, that's my ball. That's my ball. Mine. Mine. Like that Finding Nemo, those birds. Mine. You got to have that mine mentality when you play corner. You could play this guy as a safety, and if you look at this, we'll freeze it here. You have number 4 on the quarterback's right side of the field. You have Abrams Draine on the quarterback's left side of the field. This quarterback loves to stare down his receivers, by the way, but I call this more of a safety type look. Again, it goes back to this prevent that doesn't prevent anything. As much as these quarterbacks get hyped on the regular, this quarterback is not very aware. He's got plenty of time. And if you notice Abrams Draine playing the role of Justin Simmons, we've seen this so many times. The space he gives this guy, the cushion he gives this guy, he makes his cut and the ball should be thrown then. He's open. This ball should have been thrown. His offensive line is blocking for him. If Abrams Draine is going to give him this kind of cushion, you can feast on this all day long. I see why the Broncos picked him up. I mean, he's playing way off. He's easy to throw on. And actually, they throw a lot on this side of the field, Abrams Draine side of the field. Just a missed opportunity by this quarterback. Prevent defense. I mean, are you so insecure about your job as a coach? Are you so insecure that you're going to give up first downs, you're going to let them march down, and you're going to, give them all kinds of space? This ain't going to work in the NFL. Quarterbacks are going to take advantage of this. It's a coverage position. You shadow your receiver. You shadow your receiver and you track the ball. You go for the ball. You're the other receiver out on the field. They're so insecure about this position anymore. I just wish other corners would speak up on, old timers would speak up on this. This is just, it's hard to watch. And here we have it yet again. Just giving up first downs. I just don't understand why we're not shadowing these receivers, once they get to that marker, he should have been all over this guy, but, you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-yard cushions. This is your classic Justin Simmons. You're playing goalie for Manchester United. You're trying to prevent him from going to the goal, kicking the ball in the goal. That's not what the corner position is about. It's so deflating to see this being coached. It's just so deflating. I mean, why are you giving first downs away? I just don't understand it anymore. Again, we're not cherry picking here. We're just showing series after series after series. Bad quarterback play. He needs to step up. His receiver has already won the battle because there's no coverage. There's cushion instead of coverage on Abrams Draine's part. So he's already the receiver's already won that battle. I don't care if the Draine is like 4 yards or 3 yards behind him. He can't intercept the ball. You need to get it to him. You need to give your receiver a chance to catch because he's got the advantage. You got Abrams Draine directly behind him. Okay, maybe he can reach around. Maybe he can't. But he certainly isn't going to intercept the ball because the receiver's in position to catch. Give him a shot at it. Or, let's just put it this way. If this guy is even a tier 2 receiver, he's going to catch this ball. That's why I do not like this prevent defense shit. This should be an easy catch. The only thing that Abrams Draine can really do is just tackle the guy. Maybe he can try to knock it down. He's not going to be able to intercept it. Give your receiver a chance. That's all I'm saying. I just want to make people understand, as a corner, I'm playing this as a corner old school style. You better not tell me I'm playing this prevent bullshit. That's not how the position is played. I'm going to play the marker. As soon as that receiver gets to the marker, I'm going to cover. I'm not going to cushion. I'm going to cover. Meaning that, yes, I will be behind, but I'm not going to be directly behind him. That's stupid. I'm going to be about half a step ahead of him, running that crossing route right with him. So if that quarterback has to throw the football, it's going to be, okay, you better be right on target. But I got a better chance of breaking it up, being that half a step ahead of him. Even though I'm behind, I'm a half a step ahead of him. I have a better chance of breaking that ball up, but it's a 50-50 proposition when you're directly behind him. If I was this quarterback, I would have gave this receiver the benefit of the doubt and throw it to him. It's just another missed opportunity by this quarterback. Okay, after some woeful offense, they managed to get themselves in this first down situation. And I just want to make a point here, just the state of football these days. This is just bad both offensively and defensively. I'm going to just freeze this here. These DBs are playing so far off. You have Abrams Draine doing his usual 5 to 6 yards off. Number 2 here, the corner, is also doing his 6 to 7, 5, 6, 7 yards off. This isn't an indictment on these kids. This is what would have been, in my time, unacceptable coverage. We have Abrams Draine's guy at the mark, leaving the marker. This would be an easy first down. I'm going to tell you right now, if this was Peyton Manning's volunteer offense, this game would have been over before it even started. Leaving this much cushion, they're teaching it. Manning would have just feasted on this. All this Abrams receiver has to do is just do this little curl route, sit down, and I'm not even worried about number 2 because I can get it over. I can get it past him if I'm Peyton Manning. That's not even a problem. Abrams will give me so much cushion, I'm just going to sit on my route and just pitch and catch all day long. That ain't going to win you football games if you play, an actual competent offense. This quarterback it was woeful. I got a guy giving that much space past the yard marker. I'm going to make sure I get this to him. He throws it to a receiver. First of all, his back is turned. The ball is thrown high for no reason at all. This receiver shouldn't have his back like this. This should have been, I know he's sitting on the route, but, you could face your quarterback a little bit. He's almost faced almost to the corner of the other end, his own end zone. It's just awkward. Everything's awkward. The receiver's awkward, and the throw is awkward, and This could have went, 3 or 4 yards at least the other way if, they'd had this down. But here, I think your throw's up above for another first down. I would feast on that all day long. But this ain't Peyton Manning ran offense. Watching this game was really, really hard. It was bad both offensively and defensively, really. The Missouri defense gets, a break playing this cushion football from a defensive back point of view. It's definitely not coverage football. I was watching Super Bowl X just to remind myself, what football used to be with players that really knew how to play the game. You're going to see the most luckiest fumble that I've seen in recent memory. St. Draine, I can't call it forces a fumble. It's more of a happenstance. Basically, bad receiver play meets bad corner play. But I have to say this, with this play, one bright spot in it was the linebacker holds the arm of the receiver so he can't put two hands on it. That is textbook. That's really good on that linebacker's part. Great recognition to do that while, making the, holding the guy up, I guess. So your guy's supposed to make a hit, and this is kind of a thing I've seen with Abrams Draine, is that he has this Justin Simmons kind of way about him where he gets the odd angles, the awkward angles, doesn't really want to commit to the hit. With this, you're supposed to, you should drive into the ball. But he puts his head to the grass and whiffs on the hit. The receiver is so bad. I mean, these receivers, just as a disclaimer, were dropping balls all over the place when they were wide open. These receivers were just god-awful. Abrams Draine, he whiffs on the hit. You got to use your eye and then drive your shoulder, into that ball. But he doesn't. He really whiffs on it, and just rubbing across Abrams Draine's back forces the fumble. That's how bad this guy is. I mean, if you're not going to get hit, even with one arm, you should be able to secure that ball and not just let the top of the guy's back that's brushing you cause a fumble. This was just, you just like put your hands in your head and just shake your head like, oh God. I mean, this is like, to me, middle school shit. It's just bad all the way around. But, hey, he gets credited with forcing a fumble. Well, it should be actually shared credit because the linebacker was the hero really in this by holding the receiver's arm so he can't wrap the ball up. But, if Abrams Draine is not going to actually give a hit, you have no excuse to be fumbling this football. So it's just bad football all the way around. I'm just going to give you a little taste here of how difficult it was to stomach this offensive performance by Tennessee. Here's just a little sample. Just an easy pitch and catch, and they can't even get that right. And this shit was going on the whole game. And what I do for you people. So, as I have said so many times how important it is to look at the quarterback. I said all you have to do is just do a curl route, basically. And you can just feast on this stuff all day. But the problem is your quarterback has to sell it. So in this quarterback has no intention of doing anything but throwing to the one receiver. He's ISO'd, and that's on the sideline. He doesn't try to sell, he could throw to him or he could be throwing to the guy on the crosser here, but he's so locked in on the sideline receiver that even you have the corner and the linebacker, they're not even going to pursue the receiver on the crosser. They're already getting ready to jump. Both of them are ready to go and jump this route. The corner doesn't, I think he gets a finger on it. I don't know why this quarterback did what he did. He's just staring it down. It has no chance. But if you see Abrams Draine, he is pushed back, just like Justin Simmons. He's pushed way back that cushion All this quarterback had to do was sell that he was going to throw to that other receiver, or he could throw to the other receiver. And that would have drawn the corner to follow on that crosser. And to be honest with you, he probably would have had a good chance of completing that if he was a Tom Brady type quarterback. Case Keenum, Bridgewater, it doesn't matter. Any kind of quarterback, he probably could have completed that pass and had the option to go to the sideline if he thought it was a little bit too tight. But he just wanted to go to the sideline. And it's so important. I keep saying it is so important as in whether you're doing linebacking, coverage linebacking, that is, corner or safety, to always keep your eye on the quarterback until if it's like a corner where you're going to be doing a running down the track, then you're keeping your eyes on the receiver, waiting for him to spot the ball. But I just wanted to make the point that very important to keep eyes on quarterback as part of secondary or defensive back training. But this quarterback just doesn't get the position of quarterback that you've got to sell this stuff. Well, not only that, you may have an opportunity to hit that receiver on the crosser. That's a very viable option. And you've just totally thrown it out the window by just having your back totally to the other sideline. Your body language shows you're going after the sideline receiver. And nobody's going to bite. They're just going to, clog that passing lane up because you sold exactly what you were going to do. And after a bunch of series that did not involve Abrams and a bunch of riffs by Tennessee, penalties, throwing over the line of scrimmage and stuff like this, we finally go and pick on Abrams' side of the field yet again. Playing this Justin Simmons, we're off. This is not what you call help over the top. This is anti-help over the top. And again, Tennessee should have been taking advantage. So many opportunities to do this. And just like Justin Simmons, he whiffs on the tackle. Again, drive, turn. How many times did I say during this is drive, stop, turn. I mean, you could have done this all game long and you would have won this game. I'm not going to blame Abrams. They're teaching them this nonsense. I mean, this is your classic fucking prevent defense that never prevents anything. And it's a staple now. And watch. Okay, number 7, you're all awkward and everything. Try to make a tackle. You're not going to do it that way. Get low. Up, he juked you. And you whiffed. But your corners saved your ass. So I can't watch any more of this. It's just horrible on all fronts. But every time they want to go to the air, it's normally on Abrams Draine's side of the field. And as a disclaimer, I'll say Abrams and shorten up Abrams Draine, just so you know. Anyway, I don't think you need a Caleb Williams in this today's NFL because they're teaching these corners to play soft, to give plenty of cushion. There's no coverage. I think what you need is a Tom Brady. That's who you need to get. Because in the NFL, that everybody's afraid of giving up the big play, but they don't have any problem giving up first downs and touchdowns, off of the short to medium stuff because they're giving up so much cushion. I would go try to find a Tom Brady to slice and dice all this soft shit. What are they going to do? They don't know how to do anything. They don't know how to cover anybody anymore. It's all this 5 yards off, 10 yards off, all this cushion. You just need a Brady to slice and dice these guys up.